The Home Ministry has just dropped a political bombshell. 17 border states from Gujarat to Rajasthan have been ordered to demolish all illegal religious structures within 30 kilometers of India's borders. Officially, it's about national security. The government says unauthorized mosques, madrasas, and shrines near the borders could threaten the country's integrity. Home Minister Amit Shah has warned of demographic changes happening as part of a deliberate design. Strong language, but peel back the security rhetoric and a different picture emerges, one where religion, politics, and power collide. Illegal structures may sound neutral, but everyone knows who's really in the crosshairs. For years, phrases like illegal mosques and unauthorized madrasas have been weaponized in India's political lexicon. They carry a coded message that Muslim spaces are suspect, that faith itself is under scrutiny. Now that narrative is moving to the nation's frontiers. Border districts, already tense over issues of migration and identity, are being recast as ideological battlegrounds. For millions of Indian Muslims living there, the message is chilling. Your worship, your education, even your presence near the border is now a security risk. We've seen this pattern before. In Uttar Pradesh, bulldozers became the unofficial mascot of state power, tearing through Muslim homes and schools in the name of law and order. Each demolition became a political spectacle, packaged as proof of decisive governance. Now the same playbook is going national, dressed up as border protection. Of course, the government insists this is about enforcing land laws. But in the age of 24/7 optics, policy is performance. Bulldozers clearing mosques or madrasas make powerful images, especially before elections. They say, we're tough, we're protecting the nation. Every viral clip, every drone shot of dust and rubble becomes a campaign poster for strength. But behind those visuals lies quiet fear. In small towns and border villages, ordinary Muslims are left wondering, will my mosque be next? Was my madrasa built legally enough? When faith starts depending on paperwork, inclusion becomes conditional. That's how alienation spreads, not through riots, but through slow bureaucratic suffocation. And ironically, this fear could weaken the very borders the policy claims to protect. Security depends on trust between locals and the state. When communities feel targeted rather than protected, cooperation dies. Suspicion replaces solidarity. A policy meant to secure the frontier could end up hollowing it out from within. There's also a deeper constitutional problem. Land and religious affairs are state subjects, yet the center is dictating terms. By invoking national security, it centralizes control, sidelining states' authority. For opposition-ruled states like Punjab or West Bengal, it's a trap. Comply and anger minorities, or resist and be branded anti-national. Either way, Delhi wins. This creeping centralization is as political as it is administrative. The border becomes a metaphor, not just for geography, but for identity. One side stands for loyalty, the other for suspicion. And somewhere between the two, the promise of secular India begins to vanish. Put all this together, and it's clear the demolition order isn't just about land use. It's about narrative control. It turns security into spectacle and governance into ideology. It tells the majority that the nation is under threat and the minority that they are the threat. Yes, illegal structures must go, but not selectively, not symbolically, not as political theater. Because when bulldozers become the voice of the state, democracy begins to crumble too. India doesn't need bulldozers to prove its strength. It needs fairness to prove its faith, in the constitution, in equality, and in itself. The real border India must defend now isn't 30 kilometers wide. It's the thin, fragile line between security and supremacy. And once that line is crossed, there may be no going back. How do you see this recent order? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, Allah Hafiz.